Alright, so I want to take you over to show you the mushrooms that we're going to be fragging today. So there's actually just 2 of them right now, but here's all the mushrooms. One thing that I did notice on the purple one in the center there is right underneath them. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but there is a sponge that's growing under there. So what I'm going to do is get them off that rock carefully so that I can frag them and then put them on separate frag plugs and get rid of that frag plug, because I definitely don't want the sponge to be growing back on the frag plug. And one thing I don't want to do is to scrape it or damage the sponge, because I definitely don't want the spores spreading in the tank. That's a better shot of it. You can see that it's on my rack a little bit, so I'm hoping it comes off easily when I pick up the frag plug. And then over farther we have orange recordia there, Florida orange recordia, that has 4 mouths on it, so that should be an easy frag. I mean, normally you would cut them through the center of the mouth when you frag them, but in this case I can probably cut that right in half and still have 2 mouths on each side of the mushroom. Then looking over here, you can see sometimes the mushrooms will split on their own. It just takes longer. There's an orange recordia there that is splitting on its own. I have the green recordias here, which usually drop off babies, so I haven't really cut any of them in half. I'm just letting them grow out. So let's get that purple one out and see what we can do to get it off that frag plug. Okay, it looks like we left a little bit of the sponge on the rack there, so we'll have to deal with that later. Right now we're gonna get the mushrooms out that we want to frag. Okay, so now that we got them out, I'm gonna give you a better look at this sponge that's on here. You can see the sponge is growing all on this frag plug. So I'm going to try to get the mushroom off of there, because it's a beautiful mushroom and I don't want it to be attacked by that sponge. So I'm going to try to take it and lightly use a brush to try to encourage the mushroom to come off of the plug without damaging the mushroom and without damaging the sponge. May not be easy, I'm not sure, but we're gonna give it a try. He's been on this frag plug for a while, so he's actually on a piece of rock, so it's a little more difficult to get off. We were successful at that, but we did get the mushroom off the rock. So we're gonna, I have them in some revive now to see if I can blow whatever's left down there off, so we can frag them. I think we might have removed all the sponge off of him, hopefully. As you can see, he fared pretty well. He's sliming like crazy, but I'm going to put him in a separate tub. I'll revive. I'm going to rinse him off in there. Now this one had two mouths also. I couldn't really notice it when I was filming it, but I'm going to hopefully cut between those two mouths in order to frag him. Okay, so if we take a look at him in here, he looks good. It's kind of hard to see where the two mouths are, but they are separated there, so I should be able to cut right between them. So we're going to do that now. Okay, so we got our two frag plugs there. We're going to get our mushroom out right now. Lay him out here. Okay, now show him to you a little closer here. You can see the two mouths. There's one right there and one right there. So we're going to try to cut between those two. Hopefully get a clean cut. Okay, just like that. So we got a mouth on each half. So now what we're going to do is glue them to the frag plug. And honestly, it was lucky that we had a little piece of rock on the bottom of these. What I'm going to actually do is, looks like I'm going to get a grip of it. As you can see, it's got a little bit of rock on the bottom of it. We're just going to dry that off because it's really slimed. And we're going to put it on. Set it on the super glue there. Let it set for a few minutes. We're going to get the other one on. Put them back in the revive. Let them heal a little bit. Okay, so that's the first mushroom. Okay, the next one that we're going to be doing is the Florida Orange Recordia. This one has 4 mouths on it, so I'm simply going to slice it in 2 and I'll show you how we do that. So it looks like there's a space right underneath where I'm going to slice them. So it's going to be a simple slice right down the center. And then we're simply going to take our bone cutters. We're going to take the one off the frag plug. Just like that. So now each of these has 2 mouths on it. This one I can leave right on the frag plug. So put him back in the water. And the other one I'm going to glue to a new frag plug. should be pretty quick. Just gonna put a little dab of glue on there. Get the rock. Just dry the rock off a little bit. Get it just right so that I can set it down flat. There we go. So he's on his new rock. I'm going to put him in the water and let the glue cure. Now another thing that you can do when you frag these mushrooms is you can take once you frag them, you want to make sure don't get infected. You can add a little iodine to the water to help them to heal up. I'm just going to put one drop in because there's not much water here, and just blow that around, and it'll help heal up the cuts on them. Okay, so that's how you frag mushrooms. That's how I frag my mushrooms. So here's a look at the 4 frags that we just did. They look pretty good. So we'll just wait and let them heal up and grow out.